What's happening, folks? Welcome back to Street Notes. Today we're photographing the Colorado Springs Labor Day liftoff. This is a big balloon festival that happens in the park near my house. This will be the third year that I've photographed it. Every year I've always used the Leica M262 with a little Voigtlander 35mm lens on it. The whole event takes place at sunrise, so the light is absolutely amazing. The whole city seems to come out for this event, so it's super busy as well. And mixed with people everywhere and balloons and lots of colour and great light, it makes for some really good photographic potential. But also it's some of the most complex and dynamic things that I've ever photographed, because the background's changing constantly, the balloons are moving behind us and sometimes like casting shadows, so the sunlight comes in and out a lot, and then people just moving around everywhere. So it makes it really quite tricky sometimes, but when it does go well, I think it looks great. It's always a bit of a slow start to the festival, waiting on the balloons to kind of get unrolled and inflated. But I'll just walk around and take photos wherever I can. It acts as a bit of a warm-up time. And then things like this start happening where the balloons are inflating here and this guy's going inside the balloon, trying to kind of unravel it. I don't think any of these shots are coming out great. This is a relatively common sort of sight here, so just finding various compositions with that is kind of a good warm-up. One of the beauty of this event is that there are cameras absolutely everywhere, so it's one of those times where people just really don't bat an eyelid that you've got a camera out. See here, the sun's out, but something's obscuring it. Maybe there's a cloud there as well, but I'm trying to make my way towards the spots where the sun is actually hitting the balloons. There's always potential for compositions when there's groups of people kind of sorting out the balloons. Sometimes kids running out or people pass through the front of the scene. Here I kind of got pulled to the side because of all this going on here, and I liked everybody's got their hands up, the sun's like directly in their eyes. I was going for this guy's hand, but before I could make a good composition he dropped the rope. For the most part, all I'm doing is trying to see if the shots I'm taking will end up as something. It's just kind of often a shot in the dark, kind of a crapshoot. The scene won't be there for long, so just shooting without thinking too hard about it. And as a result, not a lot of them work out. And also, I haven't been shooting as much street photography this whole year, so I feel very rusty. So shooting this way is a good way to help warm myself up to street photography again. We're back in the shadow of a balloon and I'm making my way to the sunny spots again. People passing through there. I don't often shoot backlit photos but I'll try it once in a while because sometimes it works out okay. I was at this spot earlier and this was me making my way back around to it. More people have started to gather around this balloon as it inflates. People tend to gravitate towards the big novelty balloons that are really like that crab up in the sky that you can see there. And this kid in the cowboy hat, I'm fairly sure was also part of the festival the year before. I'm guessing his family has a balloon. And this was one of my favourite pictures of the day, just this sort of like row of children, the one that's climbing out from under the balloon and then the two sort of staggered a little closer to the camera. And I really think the hats make the composition. Plus he's almost contained well within that triangle shape there. And yeah, it just worked out pretty nice, I think. Another one of my favourite shots of the day here. These two guys lined up really perfectly. At first I didn't see them both lined up, I just saw the one guy taking a picture, but the guy behind him like raised his camera, or I moved a little bit, I forget exactly how, but I just thought it was kind of fun to frame the other guy taking a picture within the arm of the first guy taking a picture. Got more complex scenes here. Anytime someone points, I will just try and see if it works out. Sometimes scenes like this can be quite fruitful when people are like climbing underneath the balloons. I think I've had better versions of this scene, but I'll always give it another go because you never know when something much more interesting might happen. Even at this point in the morning, when most of the balloons have taken off, I'll still keep shooting all the way up until the end and keep trying stuff out until it's pretty much over and I've got nothing else to shoot. All the balloons are gone and people are starting to leave, because this happens so rarely throughout. It's 3 days each year, and if I get to go, I might only get to go to 2 days of it or even one, and that small window of time is when all this photographic potential happens. So it's important to not just start to relax while it still has a little bit of potential. And some of these balloons won't take off or leave, but once they're sort of up in the air, they don't have as much potential as a background. And then that sort of opens up the whole field, so you get this more sort of messy background with more depth, and it's just larger crowds behind it. So then it makes more complex images that can be even harder to make them well composed. I'm not sure I'm explaining this very well, but basically what I'm saying is it's easier when the balloons are on the ground because you get a nice solid colourful background. It felt pretty good to be back out shooting at the balloon festival. Felt a little bit rusty at first, but started to warm up towards the end. Near the start though, I think I got a couple pictures that I quite liked. The first one being this one. It was really just this guy's t-shirt, and he was holding up like a selfie stick with his phone, but the t-shirt was kind of interesting and made the picture overall, I think. The next one was this one with the three kids lined up in a row. Two of them had kind of cowboy hats on, and just framed within the background of this balloon. I think when it inflates it's like a lion or something, so that's probably the ear that we're looking at there. The next one at that same balloon but a little bit further round was these two guys lined up taking pictures on their phone. Obviously a common sight at this kind of event, but the way they lined up with the dark background and all the light and shadow in there was kind of perfect. This one, not a picture that I would normally take, kind of a touristy looking picture, but I sort of like it anyways. I'd maybe like it composed better with a balloon on the left, but almost like a, you know, if this was like a story or something, this would be a good establishing shot. One of the more complex pictures, I like this because there's a bit of separation between most of the subjects. There's one or two that overlap a little bit. Not the best, but not the end of the world either. I think it can still be an interesting picture. But again, just people looking different directions. We've got light and shadow, the balloon in the background there, the kid that's sort of holding his shirt up, the other kid holding like a phone or something on his, I guess it's his dad's back or on his shoulders. And I kind of like it and don't entirely know how to explain why. And there was a second day that I photographed this festival, and that will be in the next Street Notes episodes. I wanted to split it up a little bit because it was many hours of footage. Maybe not any bangers in this day, but certainly one or two that I would put in, probably put in the like short list for an overall project over however many years I end up photographing this festival. So anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment down below, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.